Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Delve and Dash right here at Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful Dungeon Master once again. And we've got Chris here with us tonight. Everybody say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi,
Chris.
We'll introduce Chris a little bit more in detail, in character, pretty soon. Well, thank you guys so much, and thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're going to dive right into tonight's episode of Delve and Dash. This is our 35th episode tonight.
Woohoo!
As we keep on rolling forward. As we continue forward, last time that we were here, you guys have been continuing to move with this caravan from Baldur's Gate all the way to now entering the town of Daggerford. You guys have been guarding the caravan carefully through a couple of conflicts and interesting situations with actors that were playing other adventuring parties. It became very interesting over the course. Last episode, Zin challenged the leader of these actors and actresses to I don't even know what you call it.
Act off.
An act off.
Actathlon.
An actalon. Yes. Yes. It's canon. I love it. And you made them look bad with Franklin's help, creating some different pyrotechnics and electrical energy effects. It definitely made the performance much better. The crowd loved it, and you were doused with flowers from the audience and much applause. Moving on, you guys arrived here in Daggerford safely and soundly. The caravan decided it was going to take a full day's rest here in Daggerford to recoup and give you guys a little bit of downtime. So, I must ask you, adventurers, what would you like to do?
I cast Mending.
Okay, what would you like to cast Mending on, Franklin?
The wagon.
The wagon. Okay, so you're still...
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is pristine. It stayed pristine the whole time.
It better.
Franklin, pretty much every day, has made sure every dent, every scratch has been completely... This wagon has never looked this good. And it's just been on a several day journey from town to town. How about the rest of you?
Is there a bookstore in town?
There are some shops and there is a marketplace. There's no like designated bookstore. There are a few temples that might have some books, but they may be more like religiously based. The town of Daggerford, as you guys are looking at it, probably about within the walls, maybe about 300 people, population 300, maybe at most. The outskirts, it's kind of like a hub for farming, basically. A lot of people bring their goods from outside and around the town to be sold in the market and also to be shipped to other towns and via other caravans throughout the Sword Coast. So it's not a huge place.
Probably just like walk around the market looking for books. See if you can find any at any vendor.
Okay. So you can just...
Before anybody actually walks off, though, I think we should find a nice place to sleep tonight before we all split up, so we know where to meet up, unless everybody's just going to go to their own separate ways until tomorrow.
I was going to see if there was an inn to it or not.
Yeah, I think that is the first business we should attend to, and then we can go shopping. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually go look for an inn. Hopefully other people follow me. If not, oh well.
I'll follow.
I mean, I'll follow him after I cast Mending.
All right.
Yeah, we'll wait for Franklin to actually get done with his business first.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. You guys can see a lot of the other caravans split apart. A lot of people go and look for stables to kind of put up their horses for the night and things of that nature. It looks like, the wagons and carts just separate into town, and everybody has this, kind of agreed upon, after sunup, after breakfast, we're going to get the caravan back together and start heading back north as they move forward to Waterdeep. There are 4 inns and taverns, inns/taverns in Daggerford. And it's up to you guys which one you'd like to visit. There's one place called the Dragonback Inn, which is a pretty humble place. There's a place called the Happy Cow, which actually is pretty hoppin'. Like, you can hear that there's minstrels inside playing. It seems like there's, eventually, as you're walking by, you can hear like plates and stuff shattering on the floor and things of that nature. There's the River Shining Tavern, which is actually a very large, elegant-looking place. It looks very old. It's kind of like when you go into that town and you go through the district that's like been there since the town has been built. You think that this might be one of the first structures that was ever built in this town. And the last one is the Lady Luck Tavern, which seems to be decorated with symbols of the god Timora.
Well, I'm gonna start leading everybody to the Happy Cow unless someone stops me.
I was gonna say Happy Cow too. Honestly, I really like the name. I think it's a good name.
Well, I'm pretty sure we all stand out very much so there's no sneaking around, so I don't care where we go.
Okay.
This seems a bit loud, don't you think? It might be hard to sleep.
I mean, that might be true, but I mean, it would definitely provide entertainment.
That's true.
I'm
Need some of that.
sure I will be fine.
Plus, after a few drinks, you should be able to sleep fine with the noise. Or at least I will be able to. Did you not want to stay in some place that this was like this? That's so loud.
Oh,
I just walk in.
Franklin just walks by and walks in the door.
I generally look for the quieter establishments so I can read undisturbed.
Mm.
In case anyone hasn't noticed, he reads a lot, okay, guys? His character trait is he reads.
You guys also realize, like, this is probably, like, lunchtime. So, you're not sure. I mean, it could be a loud place at night, but you're not 100% sure. You haven't ever seen it at night, so it could be worse.
Well, it looks like Franklin is heading in already. I guess if you feel strongly about it, you could always choose another inn, and we can meet up in the morning.
Like the Dragon's Back, maybe. With all the dragon cultists.
I mean, there's no guarantee that they're going to be staying there. That's
It's
just
a
that kind of
dragon name.
stereotyping.
Obviously, they would stay at the dragon place.
You do realize that I am part dragonborn, correct?
Even better. You can sleep on your own back.
Gosh.
He shakes his head, pushes past you, and goes inside.
Okay. So Dusk and Zin are sitting outside the Happy Cow staring at each other.
I did it.
A little rude, but okay.
It's me.
True.
Come on.
Yeah, let's
We
go.
know who I am.
Yeah. Just gonna give him a little pat on the back as I keep walking forward into the inn.
All right. So as you guys enter the Happy Cow, it's nicely furnished. Round wooden tables everywhere strewn about. There is a nice bar up front, polished, made of polished wood and things of that nature. There are a ton of halflings in here.
All the better.
And it looks like most of them work here. And they are working all around, like people in just your standard servant attire, serving people beverages and food and stuff. This place is slam-packed. There's a bunch of different people sitting in all the tables and stools, and people shouting across for their meals and stuff. And it's just a really just busy place as you walk in. You can see there are several halflings just behind the bar, like serving up drinks and sliding them down the bar to other people. Thank you. That'll be 3 silver. And then he's just throwing all this coin everywhere, and it's just mass chaos in here. It's just, I don't think Autumn would be very comfortable as he's standing in the middle of this.
No.
So Franklin doesn't care if all the tables are full. He's just gonna find the one with the least amount of people and just sit at it.
Okay.
If there isn't an empty one.
Yeah, there's
And he's just gonna start casting mending on everything.
Okay, sure. So Franklin just starts fixing some of the dings in the table from where, glasses have been set down too hard or plates have been scraped across the tables. You guys do find a long rectangular table that's kind of in the middle of the room that a couple people have just gotten up out of, and some halfling waiters and waitresses and bus personnel just walk up and start just pulling plates off as quickly as they can. Another one quickly starts cleaning and polishing off the table really fast as Franklin starts to mend it. Hey, what you doing there?
Fixing the table.
Oh, that's fantastic. Just don't expect to get paid for it. And then he quickly cleans and then he runs away.
Tandem looks miserable.
So you guys find your way to have a seat here at the Happy Cow. Eventually, you get approached by a older halfling male. Looks like he's got a little bit of gray to his hair. He's got a full beard, chin strap beard that kind of comes down, with no mustache at all. It just has the beard down at the bottom. Starts coming in. Hey, can I help y'all?
Yeah. I was just curious. How much are rooms here? And do you have any openings?
Oh, absolutely. We got openings here. Yeah, they're pretty comfortable. About 8 silver pieces a night. If that's not too much for you. He's just like looking around, scanning the table, feeling the discomfort from Tonham over there on the other side of the table.
I think that sounds good to me.
I'm with him, so whatever he says goes.
Oh, it's great to meet you all. I'm Coggin Hard Cheese.
I am Dusk. It's nice to meet you. I reach out to shake his hand.
He quickly shakes your hand, shakes it really fast.
Nice to meet you, Hard Cheese.
Yeah, he grabs your hands in. He actually does the double hand grab and starts shaking your hand rapidly.
Okay.
It's great to have your business.
Do you have 4 rooms available?
4 rooms.
I will be finding lodging elsewhere. I'm sorry. This is just a bit too loud
2
here
rooms?
for me.
I'm staying with you.
What's wrong with this place? And you
talking
you look around. There's a halfling hanging upside down from a chandelier behind him. Hey, Robbie, look at me! Look at me, Robbie! I finally did it.
This place is great. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Really
I'm
quality
sure
entertainment.
are quite wonderful. However, I generally prefer a quieter atmosphere.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So 2 rooms.
Get it? Yeah.
2 rooms. I'll bill it right up. How about some food? Food for all of you?
Sure. What do you have?
I cast Druidcraft and I swamp lettuce off my back and I eat it.
Well, we don't have any of that. I promise you. We've got some breads, some fresh fruits, some other, tender meats, things of that nature. What would you like?
I'll take some fruits for my friend, and I let my sugar glider down, and I set him on the table and leave him with Dusk, and I just leave. I'm out.
Oh, you just left?
Yeah, I'm just leaving.
Okay. Okay. So as you stand up before you leave, you guys notice Lai, your dwarven friend, walks in the door.
Yes.
With another person following behind, another person he's bringing with him, and he begins to look around the room and he sees you standing up, putting the sugar glider down. His Cog goes, "Hey, he brought a rat in here! What is that?"
It's not a rat, and if you harm it, I will hurt you.
Oh, I know how to. You fruits, right? Fruits for the rat.
Fruits.
Yeah, fruits for the rat. Got it. Make it up. Robbie, get down. What are you doing? I'm just doing what he was doing. And now there's another halfling hanging from another chandelier on the other side. You kids gonna hurt yourselves? Oh well. Never mind that. Yes, fruits and and he just turns around and sees there's a kind of a husky dwarf standing next to him. So, I've been doing a little thinking, and I wanted to introduce you before, we got onto our caravan any longer. I decided to go ahead and hire a guide for the journey from Daggerford to Waterdeep here. If you would, it's this young man here. This is Shard. And then, Chris, can you describe to them who they see standing next to their dwarven friend Lai, as he's brought Happy Cow?
I'm going to assume his shield is at his side at the moment, but you see a rather tallish-looking humanoid with banded like layers of different colors going down his skin that have kind of weird jagged lines across them that look a little bit like striations in a rock cut. It's probably apparent to people who are familiar with him that this guy is an Urch Genasi, but for other people, he's just a really weird looking person. He is minimally clothed. He's got like a lot of like fur and leather bands and stuff on his arms and legs, and he's wearing what looks like a metal breastplate. And I just kind of stand next to the dwarf. He gives you a nod. He definitely looks like a hardy outdoorsy type.
I just thought I'd introduce you before tomorrow when we're journeying together. You know, it's always good to know each other a little bit before you have each other's back. I just figured, since we're splitting, the two caravans between all of you, that it make more sense, and somebody to keep us on track. I don't know if I trust the ones that are leading our caravan so much to speak to get us to Waterdeep.
I think that is a very smart idea. It's nice to meet you, Shard. I'll stand up and I'll go to shake his hand.
I slowly extend my hand. I give it like one squeeze.
That's a strong grip you have there. All right.
All right, glad to have you on board, Stripes. I'm gonna go buy some ink, if I can find it.
Don't mind Zen, Shard. He makes nicknames for everyone.
It came natural for you, I'm sure.
Zen.
Like this guy, he's Turtle.
Turtle.
I
Nice
simply
to meet you,
just
Zen.
wave.
Turtle.
He's got a mouthful of swamp lettuce.
Just
That's Franklin. And this is Tottenham.
Pleasure.
Would you like to join us?
Because Tottenham earned his place. I give
All right,
Tottenham a
then.
thumbs up.
You. Franklin, not Turtle. Have extra lettuce.
I hand him some extra lettuce.
I take a bite of it.
It's like it was grown in a swamp.
Swamp lettuce.
Very moist. Strong flavor.
And then I cast Mending on his breastplate.
Yeah, any scratches that were on your breastplate are no longer there, as they now look nicely polished. Lia the dwarf kind of looks up at Zin. Is like, nickname for everyone, huh? What's mine?
You don't want to know the answer to that one. I'm just gonna walk away.
Oh. He looks quizzically as Zin just walks away. He's just got a puzzled look on his face. Well, I'll let you all get to know one another. I'm gonna go have me, a wheel of cheese. And he steps off.
Shard, would you like to join us?
Thank you. Sure. If he eats a whole wheel of cheese, he may as well roll to Waterdeep.
That is very true. Yes.
And I'll sit down at the same table, assuming that there's room. Is everyone here? Because a couple people said they were leaving to.
Zin was walking.
I walked
off.
out. I'll be back. I'll be back eventually.
Okay.
I will be leaving after getting some food.
Okay.
But I am currently here. Is Mr. Hard Cheese still around?
Yeah, he kind of got like he walked away from you guys because as this conversation started, he felt really awkward just standing there. So he decided he'd go maybe get you guys some waters ready or something like that. So he just kind of walked off.
Tottenham is gonna do like the horrible thing that like snotty rich people do, when it's sort of like the excuse me, snap snap.
Nice. You see Hard Cheese walks over. Actually, he like flags down one of his, what you presume is either one of his children, grandchildren, niece or nephews or something, and he like snaps him over, and a tray is brought over, and some waters are set down in front of you guys. Yes, can we get you anything?
I was wondering, perhaps naively assuming based on your name, do you happen to have any cheese? Fine cheeses, say, aged, bit of like salt crystallization forming, and sort of pops in your mouth.
Yeah, we have some of that. Yeah, sure.
If I could get some of that and some of your meat selection, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Coming right up. Anything else for anybody else? Huh?
I would like some wine, please.
Just get you short. Got some wine coming right up. It's a little early, but sure. Yeah, we'll get you some wine.
I'll take it slow.
Continues to eat swamp lettuce.
Nice.
We have lost Franklin's camera.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
Yes.
with
I'm noticing on stream he's a bunch of pixels, but on my screen, it's just the top of his head exploding in the green.
He's pixels on my screen.
Yeah, I'm looking at me on the stream right now, and I'm all sorts of pixelated.
I'm just imagining like Dalton's head with like green pixels flying out of it, like his mind was blown. That's awesome.
I'm going to order some biscuits and eggs.
Biscuits coming right up. Got some biscuits ready for you. Yes, and then this younger. That's so cool. this halfling woman seems to take haste in going to get your meals prepared, and you guys are sitting here at the table, bustling lunch hour going on around you. Anything else that you guys would like to talk about here at the table while we got a couple moments?
So Shard, you're a guide by trade. Is that what your profession is?
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
Less than an hour.
I mean, in your total lifetime, not on this current job.
$10 years.
Okay. Well, it's good to always get someone with some experience. Are you good enough fight too? If it comes to that, I saw you have a shield there.
Why fight?
Well, I mean, if we get attacked on the road, we have to fight.
Oh. We find them. We kill them first. No fight.
All right.
Can't argue with that logic.
I think we're gonna get along quite well, Shard.
How long you you're not guides, hired soldiers?
Yeah, you could say that. We do a lot of any kind of jobs, really. We're just kind of mercenaries for hire. Me and Zen have been together for quite some time. We just picked up these two wonderful individuals not too long ago. But so far so good. Everybody's done a very good job, worked together really well. So it's been a successful journey so far.
Any incidents?
A few. Nothing we couldn't handle. Some spiders on the road at some point. That was interesting, but
Go good with swamp grass.
I will take your word for it.
I hand him some swamp lettuce.
I set it aside and I'm gonna wait for my biscuits.
Yeah, eventually the female halfling does bring all of your drinks and foods and sets them out on simple wooden platters on the tables in front of you. Tonum, you're probably used to, eating off of a little bit of better dinnerware, but
He's starting to figure out how to rough it.
yeah, he's been roughing it for a little while now with this.
I mean, you can from like Snap. He's still, not there yet.
He's figuring it out. He's getting there. So yeah, you
I
guys.
even hand the waitress some swamp lettuce.
She looks at it. Thank you. Puts it down on her tray. He's walking away.
I will also give her a tip also of like 2 silver.
Oh, well, thank you very much. What's your passive perception, Franklin?
14.
14. Okay. You do notice out of the corner of your eyes, she walks away gleefully with her tip. She looks back over her shoulder at the table and then dumps the swamp lettuce off the tray into the trash beside the bar.
Wasteful.
Hoping that you didn't see it. But she only rolled a 13.
So, Shard, have you ever come into contact with any dragons?
No.
Sure.
Have you?
No, I just find them quite fascinating. They are sort of the area of study that I specialize in.
No dragons. Only giants. Not like each other.
So wait, you've come in contact with giants before?
Yes. Lived with giants. Sometime.
That is very interesting. I would love to hear more about that.
Not much to say. Giants make large meals. Not notice when small meal goes missing. Like vacation.
Ah. Okay then.
Any problematic individuals in the caravan? Idiots. People likely to die on the road.
There were a few. Are they still with the caravan, or did they go off on their own? Sorry,
Well, Tonum, one thing that happened last episode that we ended on that I forgot. The caravan that you guys were following, you remember the one caravan spilled? It had the wheel had broken on it and it spilled, and you guys had gone and helped them, and it was all this kind of really nice, ritzy looking merchandise. And
I wasn't here for that.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Well, you were there, but you weren't there.
Your character was there. One of the cold caravans tipped over.
And spilled a bunch of stuff. And this one halfling tried to steal something. And Dusk basically caught it and basically said, "Hey, give it back," and made the halfling give it back. Well, the next morning the halfling woke up, didn't wake up, was killed in the night, and they found out he was poisoned.
Oh, that's fun.
But they kind of, him and Franklin kept the fact that they knew he was poisoned to themselves, not to arouse a whole bunch of, because it seemed like the caravan just thought, maybe he had a natural cause, a heart attack or something at night, and just didn't wake up.
Okay. But are the performers still with the caravan,
Yeah,
or
They are. They are actually
Okay.
riding. They're riding with Samerdag now, because Lyle didn't want anything to do with them anymore after they failed
Well,
him.
which one are they riding with, Sam or Dag?
Sam. So, yeah, they're still riding with you guys,
Okay.
but what Zin did last week kind of shut them up for a long period of time. They've
Yeah.
seemed to stop showboating as much and just want to get to Waterdeep so they can go about their business.
there's a few that play at adventurer, but I think at this point they'll contain themselves.
Adventure. Game for children.
Guess you could say that, yes.
No, squabbles. In caravan, one person wants to do one thing, another person wants to do another thing. They split.
There's
all die. Very bad for reputation.
nothing like that. There is a few caravans that are kind of secretive, and they don't like anybody going near their wagons. Other than that, everybody is friendly enough, you know, that you would expect on a travel with a group. So
Maybe you show me which caravan is secretive, so I don't.
yes, well, I will definitely show
Bother.
you when tomorrow morning when we leave.
Thank you.
No problem.
Your name?
My name is Dusk.
Dusk.
Yes.
Thank you. Missed.
No, it's totally fine. We just met.
To my knowledge. To my knowledge, we have only just met. Or you
That
are
is-
a very good spy.
Both?
That is correct. Yes.
Zin, as you're out of this conversation, what is exactly you're doing? As your sugar glider has been just diving into all these fine fruits amongst this table during this conversation.
I'm letting him have fun. I'm trying to find a magic shop so I can buy magic ink, so I can copy some spells into my spell book.
Unfortunately, Daggerford does not have a
Are you
magic
kidding me?
shop.
It's 300 people.
Every city we go to
This is a pretty
doesn't
small
have
town. Now, you
I'm
are
a
They have
wizard.
a bookstore. They're not gonna have a magic shop.
you are headed to
Great.
Waterdeep. Waterdeep has some places that you might be able to get some ink.
I'm a stock up on that.
Waterdeep's like the biggest city in the north.
I'll buy 1,000 gold worth. All right. Well, if I can't find anything, I'm just gonna go back.
Okay. After some time in conversation, Zin reapproaches the table.
Probably about that time is when Tanim is finishing up and getting ready to go look for books.
Okay. So basically, Tanim stands up and Zin walks in, and you guys, like, you're walking into the place, and Tanim's getting ready to walk out.
The seat's warm for you.
Wonderful. I love it when my seat's warm. It's not awkward at all. Knowing somebody else's butt has warmed a seat for me. It's
I walk away.
my favorite thing. You safe. Don't die reading all those books. He's gone.
Do I find any books in the market?
Go ahead and let's go ahead and make this a, I don't know what kind of check this would be.
Perception?
Yeah, we'll call it perception. We'll just default to that.
I'm really glad. The next thing I was going to suggest was investigation, and I'm a lot worse. That is a natural 20.
Oh,
You did it.
I did it.
What
Natural 20
Smells the
plus
books.
5.
what kind of books in particular might you know be something that you're looking specifically for if you were digging through titles?
Anything dragon researchy related, any, magic book, spell book type thing. Just the sort of, not like a mass printed book, but the kind of thing that you'll only find in like a small like Goodwill type shop.
Yeah.
That's like the little like gem in the rough.
You do find a slightly used book that has a lot of it's almost fairy tales, like children's fairy tales, but you see like an image of a dragon on the cover, and it's like this terrible red dragon that seems to be spewing fire around all these poorly drawn individuals on the front. And you can see that inside it looks like there's several like short stories, each one of them pertaining to different types of dragons and different things.
Oh, he'd definitely pick that up.
Oh yeah, I mean probably this is like they're just setting in the. It's kind of like when you go to like a flea market and there's like this person just selling these random titles and books. Yeah, you can pick one up. They probably sell it to you for a silver piece.
Yeah, he's definitely grabbing that.
You find other things that are there. When it comes to like deep dragon lore, you don't really find anything on that here at this particular town in this market. You do find that they kind of, when you ask some of the merchants about it, they do tell you that they're, I think it's, I want to say this right. So I'm gonna see if I can make sure that I don't mess this up. I think it's called it's a strange name, but it's like Shantae or something like that. The god Shantae. There's a big temple, and and you would recognize it as the god of like agriculture. This seems like the biggest temple in this town is revolved around that, and they say that their clerics and priests and things of that nature might have some spells, but they're more like the divine nature. So more like your cleric-y type stuff.
He's probably gonna take his book of fairy tales and go to the third tavern that you mentioned, the bigger, older one.
Okay. The River Shadow
and see
Tavern.
about the curio room.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. You walk in this place, and this place has like a elaborately decorated foyer as you walk in. I mean, this place is for a small town like this is like noble. Yeah.
That's what he wants.
This is your cup of tea.
Definitely like sigh of like relief when he walks in. Like, okay, there's a proper bed here.
Yeah. This place is going to cost you 2 gold per night to stay here.
That is
because
totally
it's considered in the wealthy range. So yeah, it's easy to procure a place here. This place is definitely not as crowded as the other place, but you can tell that the people that are dining in here and are staying and sitting and getting drinks, definitely a lot more well off and are living a more wealthy lifestyle. You do see a couple of adventuring parties in here, like having their meals as well, and a few.
He's gonna find a corner and order a nice little shot of whiskey and just sit in a corner reading his book.
Okay, absolutely. Can you make a perception check for me as you sitting in
here? Well, don't use that dice again. That's a 7.
7. You do notice in the corner, in like a corner booth, in the darker corner, you recognize a couple of those people that were part of the cultist caravan that you presume is the cultist caravan. The one guy that had the kind of like mustache to his goatee that sort of represented kind of like the whenever they said who was leading the caravan, they pointed to this guy.
Okay. Then he might take a booth sort of nearby so he can eavesdrop while reading his book.
It seems like they're talking to some other man there, but it's really kind of dark and they don't have a lot of like lantern light in this place. So it's really hard to kind of get a good view of him. And he's
Anonymity.
wearing some type of hat. Like he's got like, imagine like, you know the Russian hats that like cover your ears and like the back of your neck and everything?
Yeah, like
You know-
bomber hats.
Yeah, he's wearing one of those. And he's pretty heavily cloaked and stuff, so you can't really see him, but they are having a conversation in the corner.
I'll just kind of sit by, see if he can pick up any words or anything that might be interesting.
Okay, so we'll go back to the Happy Cow as things are starting to die down a little bit from lunch. It seems like all the halflings are busy cleaning and sweeping up from the lunchtime rush. There's a lot of people from the caravan that you guys have recognized came in and had some meals and have left as well. You guys are kind of sitting there finishing up some of your meal if there's anything else you guys would like to do.
The waitress that decided to throw away the swamp lettuce. I'm gonna use Druidcraft, and now she smells like a skunk.
All of a sudden you hear like people just start going, was that you? No, no, it wasn't it. Was that you? Ah, hey, was that you? And you just hear that like starting to like permeate around the room, and everybody's like, Tilda, what'd you step in? Ah, you smell horrid. It's brutal what my hard cheese knows. And then a couple of the nieces and nephews just go like running around the room, and some of them retreat to the kitchen. You see some of the other patrons just stand up and start walking out of and now basically the entire dining room smells of skunk.
Is this something that you did discreetly, or was it obvious to us at the table that
Oh no, it's very obvious. Franklin does not know social politeness at all.
Sharda is going to watch the event for 15 seconds, and then suddenly just is like,
He's
Very
just
funny.
stone-faced. That's so good.
Franklin, now that I don't think that was very nice.
Yeah, Franklin, you took it too far. I don't even like your swamp lettuce, or whatever the heck.
It's so bad! And you hear one of the halflings fall off the chandelier and land on the table.
I cast mending on it.
Immediately fixes.
It's like I just
some
get up
plates.
and walk to it.
Awesome.
I am curious, is Shard carrying any kind of weaponry? I know you said a shield, but is there any weapons?
If you're looking for weaponry, you would notice that there are little bits of wood and or stone and or metal sticking out of what look like little tiny pockets and various leather straps.
Mhm.
And it looks like his body is basically covered in various places with little throwing daggers.
Interesting. Okay.
And on the inside of the shield, there's actually built into it. I should probably describe the shield, because at some point you guys would notice that it's not just like your typical round cut shield. There's like a couple of extra grooves sort of cut here and there on the outside, and then there's 2 grooves at the top and one at the bottom, shaped kind of like a grimace, and a sort of like weird mudman face is kind of painted on the outside of the shield. On the inside, you can see that there's a couple of like standard daggers that are also carefully strapped to a couple of extra bands that are attached to the inside.
Interesting. Shard, that's quite an interesting shield you have there. Did you make that yourself, or
No,
buy it somewhere?
Tree made wood. I carve face.
Right. Okay, so you constructed the shield out of the wood.
Yes, leather worker helped.
Interesting. Okay, it's a really cool design. I quite like it.
Thank you. Here, let me show you. I pick up the shield by its 2 straps. You'll notice that on the straps of the backpack that he's got, which is not very large, so he's able to wear it while he's sitting on the chair. There's a couple of small hooks, and I attach the 2 straps of the shield onto the hooks so that the bottom of the shield is kind of dropping down to the abdomen, and the rest of it comes up over where I am. And the 2 slots for the eyes and the goofy face shield, I can see through.
Okay.
So I just look like a weird dude with like a giant wooden head. Ah!
Wow, that is definitely very interesting. I have
Scares
never seen anything
animals.
like that. Oh, I'm sure it does, especially at night.
Easier to carry as well.
Hmm.
As you guys are
My
having,
sugar glider rushes away and crawls up into my arms.
I've been like soaking the biscuits with the swamp lettuce,
nice.
and I'm gonna take the last one of them and like scoop it through the mouth hole of the shield.
Yes.
All right.
As you guys are, as he's doing this and you guys are having this conversation, Mr. Hardcheese basically comes up and he's got like pieces of like he got like a clothes hanger or clothespin like over his nose, and he comes up and he's got like this looks like a freshly baked pie. He's like,
Excuse me, friends. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience and the smell of the place. Please have this freshly baked apple pie on the house for the inconvenience. Thank you.
and he just like kind of bows to you guys a couple times and then takes back off.
Oh, well, thank you.
And as
I will now stop concentrating on druidcraft.
okay, sure. As you look around and you stop concentrating, you guys are the only people in here. Everyone else is gone.
Good spell.
Also, just as a reminder, Franklin is butt naked. He's not wearing clothes at all. He never has.
Yeah, but he's a turtle, so you can't really tell.
Can't really tell.
Exactly.
Just out of curiosity, are turtles extremely uncommon in the Sword Coast?
I think relatively.
Okay.
Definitely not. Like, probably about as uncommon as a dragonborn or something would be.
Okay. But it's not like Franklin's not likely to be like the very first one I've seen having traveled.
I'm sure you've probably
Across
seen a
Africa.
few. Probably not.
Okay.
Like, to walk into a place and see a ton of them is very rare. You know, you can, bits, 1 or 2 here and there probably, but that's probably about all.
Cool.
But yeah. And so you guys share some of that moment.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wait till Ani gets back to kind of describe. So if there's anything else that you guys wanted to do,
To help with the smell of the place, we're going to start growing flowers all over. Out of any pot, any like pots they have, or planters, I start growing flowers and making it all smell better.
So Franklin is walking around the room just casting multiple spells, just getting all these flower pots that have all these beautiful flowers in them. He's just taking he dumps out some candles from like a lantern and sets it up and makes flowers kind of grow out of it and things of that nature. There's a big empty ale cask that he pulls out and fills it with soil and flowers and things like that, and he starts scenting the room like all these floral aromas.
Absolutely did not ask for permission to do it first. He just does
He
it.
just does it. Yeah, that's right. Well, no one's in here to stop you, so they've all vacated the premises.
Are the caravanners going to inns, or are they sleeping in their, wagons outside of town?
It's probably a little bit of both. Probably some of them are coming in. All of your insight would tell you that probably the suspicious caravans are probably going to, they're going to keep their stuff pretty close and under a
Okay.
watchful eye. That doesn't mean that some of them might come in and, pay for some rooms.
I will sleep outside. Better to leave in the morning. Don't like small rooms.
That is understandable. Well, we will stay in here, of course. And yeah. Franklin, are you getting a room here too, or?
I
What, the
will
extra room?
sleep at the wagon.
All right.
Cool.
Well, then I'm gonna go tell the owner of the establishment we only need one room then.
You get refunded.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Eventually, the hard cheese family starts to begin coming out of the kitchen, and it seems like they went through the kitchen and out the back door, and were kind of chilling out the back for a while the smell dissipated, and have started to make their way back in. You get your refund back, Dusk, for the extra room. He starts to kind of, barter with you a little bit, thinking that maybe it was because of the smell and your unpleasant time here at his inn. Starts to get a little nervous, but so I understand.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. We only need one room for the night. I appreciate the refund, though. Thank you.
Sure. Anything else that you guys would want to do in this town during some downtime? I'm waiting on Ani to get back so I can kind of describe what's going on with her.
I think I would like to, before it gets too dark, just kind of like take a walk around. Basically, the idea is I just want to get a location on the 5 caravans that, we're trying to keep an eye on. I just want to see where they are.
Okay.
See if I can find them, so.
Cool. Go ahead and make we'll call this investigation.
Okay. That is a 15.
15? Yeah, it seems like a lot of the caravans, they came in to the city gate, which is on the southern side after crossing the river over a bridge, a simple wooden bridge. Make their way, and they just basically kind of parked along the inner side of the wall. It doesn't seem like they have a place it seems like this is the place where caravans kind of normally just park and kind of hang out and chill and spend the night, or they park them here. They have a couple of horse stables, but it seems like they're relatively small. Luckily for you guys, they had enough for basically now, since you guys have got here, basically all their stables are filled. But what they do is when their stables get too full, is up by the keep part, they have a fenced in grassy area. It's like a grassy knoll type area where the keep sits on. And all that area around there, they just let their cattle and horses free roam around the keep. And sometimes they just let the horses do that if things reach max capacity. So
is there any tall buildings near this where they're parked? I mean,
let me check.
Are there any people still at the caravan also, or do they all go to hotels or inns?
There are people at the caravan, and the one thing that stands out is the caravans are. If you go in and you make a right along the wall, there are a few buildings in it. None of the buildings in here are really super tall. Maybe only a few floors. But most of the caravans are sitting in front of the open space. It's a market. So it's kind of like they open it up and they make the caravans go right. Because most caravans that come in here do set up market tables and try to sell some of their wares.
Okay.
So there are people around the caravans, and around the caravan, and it does look like there's still people going through the market and purchasing things. And once again, it's only a town of 300 or so it's not bustling or anything crazy a big city or anything like that, but there are people milling about.
Let's say, hypothetically, if I wanted to try and get onto a building near, would I have a good vantage point to keep watch on them?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Sure, absolutely.
And then I'll head back to the inn after I find out all that.
Okay. Let me see what building number 28 is. Actually, the best building from your assessment, right on the corner of the field where they have, right on the corner, maybe it's not that, never mind, hold on. Oh, do you remember that tavern that was dedicated to Timora?
Yes.
Honestly, that would give you your best vantage point.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Sure.
Assuming that I'm out by the caravan, just like scouting to make sure I've got a good idea of where anyone might approach if someone wanted to try and come steal something at night, cause any other kind of problem. Would I have noticed his building shenanigans?
Like Dusk walking around looking at stuff?
Yeah.
Make
I would
Well, trying to
intentionally
get a
tried
vantage
to.
point.
I would have definitely intentionally tried to not make it look like I'm trying to scout out a
Yeah.
surveillance point.
Make an insight check for me,
Okay.
Shard. While you're doing that,
Dusk is pretty stealthy, right?
Yes, I am.
22.
22. Oh, Dusk, I'm gonna have to let you make a roll.
All right.
Just call it stealth because I don't think a
I
deception
mean,
check
I would definitely
be...
prefer a stealth. I have a +10 in that, so.
We'll do stealth for this one. I don't think this is necessarily like
That is a 13, so +10, 23.
23. You don't notice, Shard. It was close. But yeah, Shard, you do see the same thing. You do see some caravans that are sitting there. You do notice some individuals that are just kind of standing around being to themselves, not really going about, milling about the marketplace or anything like that. Tonum, you need to make a perception check for me.
Okay.
Now that we got you back.
Stop. Yeah. That's a 16 plus 5. 21.
You hear a little bit of the conversation. You kind of missed the beginning of it, so kind of trying to mill your brain around the context of the whole situation. But that this mysterious man that they're talking to, you can hear. Yes, I'm looking to purchase a ride. I need to head up north. And this is kind of odd to you, Tonum, because this group really hasn't talked to anyone else this whole trip, just in a little passing. And eventually you do see over the corner of your shoulder that this man actually takes a coin pouch out and hands it to the man who seems to be kind of in charge of those first 5 wagons in the caravan. And it seems like this person has just paid for passage, and they accepted his payment and are going to have him come on board the caravan.
Is it a large purse, a heavy purse? Like, can you tell?
It's hard to tell. It's still kind of dark in here. Definitely, you can hear the of the coinage as he hands it over to him. So there's got to be some in there.
Okay.
But since you rolled that 21, as you're looking kind of over, since you're closer and you're looking over, you can catch a glimmer of this guy now. He looks like a pretty rugged-looking human by his face, but it's the part where you notice like his hat doesn't quite cover some things underneath. Like it looks like his ears are covered. It looks like some almost like tribal-looking tattoos are like peeking out from under the bottom of his hat. And like where his sideburns would be, and then on the back of his neck.
What color is his hand?
He's actually wearing gloves. Yeah, most of that conversation seems to be about him paying them to, giving him a seat in their caravan.
Okay. Tonum will kind of just hang out, not drawing attention to himself. Just there.
Okay. Sounds good. Rest of you? Anything else?
I go to sleep at the caravan.
Okay. So Franklin's fast forwarding to the caravan and going to sleep by the wagons that he has been paid to watch.
I probably told my sugar glider to stay with Dusk. Because I'm assuming Dusk would have told me that he was going on this little reconnaissance mission.
If I would have said, I'll be right back in.
Yeah, my
kind
sugar
of-
glider probably just tucked into like your clothes or something,
Okay.
and
That's fine.
would come back and let me know if anything went bad.
Okay.
After I scouted out, though, I came back to the tavern.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that until after it gets dark.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. So, really, the day is pretty uneventful. We can fast forward to the evening if you guys want to. And to get to that moment where you guys are, I guess, up to something. For some of us.
That'd be great.
So
At some point, I would have reported back to the group that they'd hired on, or been hired to take someone farther up north. But
okay. So Autumn does find the rest of you.
Would we have seen this person? Like, have they gone to the caravan yet?
No.
Okay.
You have this is a brand new person none of you have seen before.
Fresh out of the womb.
Yep, that's right.
I guess I'm gonna hang out by the caravan, and I might strike up a very sparsely worded conversation with Franklin.
It is very sparse.
It was like every 10 minutes, just like one tiny exchange.
Yeah, probably.
Long lulls of awkward silence.
And anybody who's watching just feels the awkward just radiating, and
Oh,
Franklin
God.
has no idea that it's awkward.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Shard might know it's awkward, but he does not care.
Excellent.
Hey, Dusk.
Yes.
What do you think of this Shard guy? Do you think he's trustworthy, or are you skeptical?
He's definitely interesting. Could be useful. I don't know. We'll have to see. If he's a relatively good guide.
You always say Janasi are interesting.
That
Every
is
time.
that is
Every
very
time we've
true.
ever
They
met
are.
a
They're
Janasi,
very
you're
interesting.
Just always like, they're interesting. You always trust them.
That's
every single
I mean,
time.
not always, but
I've seen it. You haven't seen it. I've seen it.
anyways, I think we should go ahead and just get some sleep. I'm going to do some recon after I take my rest. So I'll be back by the time you wake up, hopefully.
All right, take Vix with you. Make sure you stay safe.
I will do that.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? Before we...
I'd like to just try and make an assessment of what the suspicious caravan,
Yeah.
which I assume I've been able to kind of pick up which one it is, and get an idea if they have people who would be effective or dangerous in a fight with them. See
Okay.
if I can kind of get a sense of that.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Sure. I keep wanting to click on the words. I'm like, why isn't it working? Oh wait, nice. 26.
Nice. Shard, you've seen members of the Cult of the Dragon before. These look like it looks like a mixed bag. It does look like there are a few that do have a little bit of a skill, but it looks like most are probably just guys that have sworn loyalty, and this is, this is their duty, I guess the part that kind of racks your brain is just the numbers. They do have an awful lot of individuals around, and the thing about the cult is that they don't wear open cult garbs, as they're walking around the town. So honestly, some of these 300 villagers that are living in Daggerford could be members as well. So they're hard to pick out, and their numbers could be even more than you realize, no matter where you are at any given moment. So it's not the fact that you don't think you could take them. I think it's that you're afraid that you start beating up on one or two of these guys, and then 20 shows up.
Well, I'm not looking to like suddenly start beating up on them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's an eyes and ears mission. I mean, job.
But yeah, that's kind of the vibe that you get, you know.
No obvious like one of them is wearing red robes with the dragon symbol, clearly the leader. That.
Nope, none of them are wearing anything different, you know. The only odd one so far is the one that Tottenham has run across, and just strangely like covered up, wearing gloves, a big, you know, just looks like big leather cloak, and you know this hat and everything.
At some point I saw this person. You said that they had little bits of like tribal tattoos visible. Is that something I might recognize?
Make a history check. You wouldn't have seen him because he never came out of that tavern, and unless you went in to find Tottenham. But you can make a history check based on what Tottenham brings back to you guys, because she said that he would have came back and said everything to you. So 2. Nope, doesn't ring a bell. But nightfall occurs. A lot of people start to bed down. It seems like Daggerford is the type of town that goes to bed pretty early. So it seems like all activities seem to end rather abruptly as soon as the sun goes down. The Happy Cow seems to go a little bit later than every other place. Little ruckus going on in there. Dusk, were you meaning to do something here?
Yes, I would like to go ahead and spend my 4 hours resting for the night that I need.
Okay.
After that, I'm going to make one of my arrows that I get from my arcane archer. I'm going to make one of them one of those heavy bolts that I made.
Uh-huh.
My crossbow.
Okay.
And then the other one's going to be a normal arrow. And then I'm going to try and sneak my way over to that building that I could get a vantage point of.
Okay, first I need a stealth check from you.
Alrighty. 25.
Oh yeah, not a problem. You're slicking through this, you know, just moving through these small alleyways in this town, like sticking to the shadows. Oh yeah, you've done this a million times, Dusk. You are skilled. You are solid.
Is this building the tavern that was of the deity, which I forget the deity, but what is it made of? Is it like the top part wood and stuff?
Oh yeah,
or...
it's strictly made of wood. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then I am going to just take out my.
Since you mentioned not knowing the type of deity, if you'd like to make a religion check, you can.
Sure. I don't think. Oh, actually that's 12.
12. Timora is the Lady Luck.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. God of Luck.
All right, well, I am going to take out my crossbow, my heavy crossbow, and pull back on the heavy bolt that I have and wrap some rope around it. And I'm going to use my arcane shot, seeking, to make it hit the top to where the rope hangs down the side, so I can climb up, and hopefully it embeds into the wood.
Perfect. Seeking shot means it just hits.
Automatically hits.
Automatically hits. Okay, so
yeah, because it goes up and then
you fire it up there. You watch as your shot arcs and sticks into the side. It's kind of one of those structures where the bottom floor is. Uh-oh, we lost somebody in the cams. Oh no!
Yep.
Oh no! Sorry about that, Twitch. Here he comes. He's back. It's one of those buildings that kind of comes up, and then the roof comes in, and the upper floor is skinnier. You know, it kind of sticks up like that. So you fire it up to the upper floor roof, and you're able to climb up, not a problem.
And of course, I want to try and do that to where I'm not going to be crawling past any windows, if I can.
Yeah, there are some
On the
windows
side of the
there,
building.
but you're stealth 25.
Okay.
You're solid.
Cool.
You're sticking to the shadows, no problem whatsoever.
And then once I get up there, I'm gonna pull the rope up to me, so that way if anybody walks by, I don't see a dangling rope.
Mhm.
And then basically, I just want to keep an eye to make sure there's no shady business during night, because this is still pretty dark because of me only needing 4 hours. So I basically just want to keep an eye out on these caravans for the
And
rest
this
of the time.
is after dark, and then after you, it took you 4 hours. So I'd
Correct.
say it's probably, what do you think, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Probably something
around
like
there?
that. Yeah.
Tonham, would you already be in bed by now?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is enjoying a nice evening in an actual bed.
Yeah. Nice, comfortable, very comfortable,
Mhm.
ritzy kind of place. Eventually, you do see a few people arrive at the suspicious caravans, Dusk. One of them seems to match that description of that individual that Tonham had described to you guys.
Okay.
And you can see that they're having a little bit of a conversation as they head towards the caravan. Franklin, is Franklin just kind of sleeping out there next to...
Yep, he's withdrawn into his shell and sleeping like that.
Nice. Into the shell. There's a shell sitting there, and I guess Shard would probably be sleeping in a bed, maybe a bedroll right out there on the ground or something. Is that what he does, or
He's got kind of a thing for like sleeping on the bare ground.
just yeah? I guess it'd be a. I guess
Feels
it'd be
right to him?
yeah, feels right to Shard. Yeah, that would probably be right for him.
So yeah, he does like to sleep with his shield over him like a mask.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's a bit of a sight to see. It's a big turtle shell and a good looking dude.
Dusk, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
18.
18. You can hear a little bit of the conversation as you're kind of creeping your way to the edge of the rooftop, listening in. You can hear, and you can recognize now, this is definitely that guy that was presumably the leader of the caravan, walking with this individual. It looks like they might have, and Tonham, you would have recognized, they went to their rooms like very early that evening. It looks like they woke up. Bless you. Bless you.
Excuse me.
You're good. It looks like they woke up like in the middle of the night on purpose to walk out here, and it seems like that individual as they're approaching, and he looks, and the one that's like in the leader of the caravan to the other man that Tonham was describing. Osbara, this will be the wagon in which you can ride in, and rest assured we will keep you safe and secure. Hasn't been much going on, but we do have a few guards that have been hired by other caravans that are quite capable and will help to keep this caravan safe as well. And the other man just kind of looks and says, that's very good. I'm glad. The sooner I can get north, the better. And they kind of just exchange a nod, and he opens the door for him, and he walks into the caravan, and he just closes the door.
The caravan that he got into, is it one that I could keep, that I could actually recognize while we move?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you could definitely do that.
Okay, cool.
But his,
Did I hear his name?
Yeah, is Azbara. Azbara is the name that you heard.
Okay. Cool. Well then I'll just stay up there until right before the sun starts to rise, because of course I don't want to be up on the roof when lights out.
Yeah, it's like,
So
hey, who's that up there?
Yeah. So I will I will undo my heavy bolt from the roof, and I will use my teleportation thing to get back down.
Okay.
So I can teleport up to 30 feet. I'm assuming it's no more than 30 feet down.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool. And then I'll just make my way back to the tavern where Zen is.
Okay, and as we do that, we'll go ahead and end our episode tonight right there, as we got Shard into the mix tonight. Got him acclimated to this group's antics. And you guys got to see some more things that the cult presumably might be up to and what's going on with them. So we're going to end that episode 35 here tonight, and we will be back soon. Next Thursday, I will be out, so we're going to have a week off. Next week, I am going to be on vacation, so we're going to take a week off, and then I will be good to go the following week, if everybody else is good. And we'll keep messaging each other. And those of you that are watching right now, we'll let you guys know on Twitter for sure. But we should be good in 2 weeks to continue this adventure. So thank you guys once again.
Can't do it.
What's that?
You're not allowed. Not allowed to take vacation.
Not allowed to go on vacation? Nope. Not allowed. No vacations for Michael.
Nope.
So it's gonna be really hard for me to stream from the cruise boats that I'm gonna be on.
Well, you better try anyway, because D&D is love.
That's
D&D is love.
That's it.
Do you really care,
Do I really
Michael?
care? Oh, you guys are hurting my feelings.
It's not just a game; it's a way of life.
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We do appreciate you guys tuning in and checking this out. Make sure you guys check out YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up all the back episodes of Delve and Dash and all of our other amazing campaigns that we got going on. But until next time, don't forget to add that proficiency bonus, and we will see you guys soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.